Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shonen Jump recap. It has been quite a while since I've done one of these, so we have a lot to talk about today. I plan on touching at least a little bit on every series, and I also have some comments from you guys that I will incorporate into the discussion. As always, we're going to be starting with the series that I am currently up to date with, which right now, admittedly, ain't all that much. I'm still reading My Hero every week. It really feels like we're just about there. We're just about at the end. Now, this final part still could take a year or two to conclude, but yeah, it's all coming together, and I've been really enjoying the series so far. Not without a few gripes I've had with it. In particular, I think Horikoshi has a bad habit of only introducing characters when they're relevant to the story, when they probably should have been built up much before. But overall, I'm still having a really great time with it. My Hero's still really good, but feels like Horikoshi is speedrunning towards the end. I wouldn't say speedrunning. The pace has definitely picked up these past few chapters. We're really getting into it. But to me, it doesn't really feel rushed at all, because, it has been a long time coming. Horikoshi has made some very questionable decisions, and the ending is surely going to piss many people off. I think that's kind of inevitable with a series so popular that's been going for so long. I am pretty confident that Horikoshi will wrap it up nicely, but you know how it is. The only other series I've been keeping up with quite religiously, honestly, I go out of my way to read it as soon as it drops every single week, and that's Blue Box. Fuck yeah, man. This fucking slaps, man. I absolutely love it. It's so cute and wholesome and fun. It's just, how can you hate it? How can you hate it? I am all the way Team Chinatsu. I think Hina's a bit of a temptress whore. Not too big on her. I'm very glad that Taiki is a Chad and is staying loyal. But yeah, I'm still really loving it. The sales have been absolutely incredible. Like, what the fuck, man? It's like already outpacing well-established battle manga that have anime. It's nuts. Blue Box is pretty cool. I don't know how long the series will last before it becomes repetitive. Well, you see, here's the thing. I don't think it's, in danger of that yet. I really hope that the relationship, whatever relationship ends up happening, is not the end goal. I really love it when series, the characters start dating, maybe halfway through, and then the rest can actually focus on building their relationship. It's unfortunately hard to talk about examples because, it would always count as a spoiler. But I do really like when that happens, and I hope Blue Box follows down this path. So yeah, everything else I've kind of put on hold. I don't know, it's just become a lot to keep up with so many weekly series. And most of these, if I'm being honest, I just much rather read in bulk. Some of them are still pretty fun reading weekly, but at the end of the day, my comfort zone is, waiting for like 15, 20 chapters to build up and plowing through them all. So all these next series, while I've read most of them, keep in mind that I'm not fully caught up. Yeah, One Piece. Quite the year for the One Piece, man. Things have been very eventful on the anime side, where it, of course, just passed its 1000th episode. Still can't be fucked to watch the One Piece anime, but, at least they've upped the animation quality quite a bit. It's looking pretty nice. And they also announced we're getting a new movie next year focused on Shanks, which I think is a really cool idea. Because he's like a really important character, but, he hasn't actually been in the series all that much. So it would be really cool to see him get fleshed out a bit more. Wano really needs to wrap up already. Thinking One Piece might conclude before it ever reaches the end of Wano Act 3. Yeah, so a lot of people are starting to get a bit annoyed at the length of the Wano arc. It now, of course, is the longest arc in One Piece. And yeah, it is kind of weird, because like the last time I read it, it felt like it was at the final climax, but no, it's just apparently still going and going and going. I know people are still liking it and all, but yeah, it would be nice to wrap up, because at this point, I don't think I'm going to catch up to One Piece until Wano ends, so I would like for that to be relatively soon. People seem to think Dr. Stone is speeding to the ending, even the people who consider it to be peak fiction, and I have not read this current arc of Dr. Stone. I stopped around, I want to say chapter 200, and at this point I'm probably just going to wait for it to end, but yeah, we'll have to see. I'm definitely really interested to see where it's going. I hope it's good, but I am a little bit concerned based on some people's comments. Jujutsu Kaisen continues to be the best ongoing shonen in any magazine. Come come on now. But it is still, very good. I haven't read much of the new arc yet. We have one comment here that says it's hard to understand. And while I don't really agree that it's hard to understand, I do think that reading on a weekly basis can sometimes be a lot. This is a series with some really complex systems and a lot of story and info dumping. Can get a bit tedious to read week by week because sometimes there's so much information being thrown at you that you don't always retain it. I have spoken to a lot of people who have had this problem with Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not really the fault of the series, it's just like the unfortunate circumstances of the release. And yeah, so that's the main reason why I'm just waiting for stuff to build up, because I felt like when I was reading it weekly, I'm like, man, what the heck's going on? I gotta like reread all this shit. This is wild. But yeah, I'm still hearing some great things about it. We got a movie coming out pretty soon. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to get an English release. And I mean, it was also the #1 best-selling manga of the past year. So good on them. It's going great. Mashle has gotten so incredibly boring and repetitive. The villains are trash and Mash just destroys everyone so quickly. Why is that a bad thing? We're still on the MASH train here. We still stan it. I'm expecting an anime announcement soon. Maybe a Jump Festa. That'll be exciting. Yeah, haters can get fucked. Harry Potter's right there if you want to go read some low-tier fantasy shit. We got some Sakamoto Days love there. Very well deserved. I'm really excited for the English release in the spring. Definitely going to be picking that up. I'm really excited for the future of this one. Didn't get any comments on Witch Watch, which might be a good thing, because I'm gonna be honest, I do not stand for Witch Watch slander. If I see it, I dox your family. I've done it to a few. I know it's like controversial. I know people don't really like that I do that, but like, I think it's justified, because how could you hate Witch Watch? What is wrong with you? It's literally peak. But of course, we recently got the news that it was only going to be getting a digital release in English, which is absolute bullshit. That it's literally, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Do you actually think Samurai 8 was more worthy than fucking Witch Watch? You absolute idiot. Black Clover has been having a bit of drama recently, I don't know. People don't seem to be liking the new arc. Oh no. Even for Neverworld, who's a huge Boruto stan, so that's it's not the best sign. I know some fans have been worried that Black Clover has been receiving a low placement in the table of contents recently, but I would just like to reiterate that don't matter. Like, when it comes to the table of contents, the only time a low placement should worry you is if it is a new series. Like something that's been running for years, sells well, and is established like Black Clover, that's not in danger of anything. Like, if the sales absolutely plummeted, then yeah, maybe. Bleach fell to the bottom and was there for like 4 years. It's fine. Undead Unluck, people keep telling me to read it. I'll tell you what I always tell you. Maybe someday. I don't know. It still doesn't look appealing to me at all. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, listen, it had a weird start, but it gets really good. I'm like, yeah, all right. But I have a lot to read right now, so we'll see. Maybe eventually. Who knows? All right, the Elusive Samurai and Mission Yozakura family. Does anyone read these? Like, genuine question. I don't really get it. The fact that Yozakura family has been running for more than 2 years just seems weird to me. It really does. Like, what is this? Then you have the Elusive Samurai, which has been doing really well in terms of sales, and it of course has that veteran mangaka name attached to it. Yeah, it's here to stay, for sure. It'll probably be around for a long time, but and Yozakura, I have no fucking idea. It doesn't sell very well, but it doesn't do bad enough to, get canceled. It's obviously gone far past that point now. I don't know if it's popular enough to ever get an anime, and I don't know how far it is away from ending, but I guess, yeah. Some people hate it, some people like it. Akashi Triangle's still going as the horny manga. I'm sure the demographic for it is enjoying it quite a bit. I just watch porn when I'm horny. Like, I'm not so degenerate that I would just read an ecchi manga. Like, what the fuck? And then you have, like, the 3 comedy ones that are still all going. I was actually talking to people yesterday who were, like, confused that Magu-chan was still running. And I'm like, yeah, same. What the heck? These series still don't sell very well, but they've, at this point, gone way past, the usual cutoff point for act series. Even, they go easier on comedies, but they still usually end around chapter 50. And now we're still going. The one thing, though, is that specifically with Spy Family and Roboco, they do seem to actually be getting a lot of critical success. While their fan bases are small, a lot of people really like them. I know specifically, like, a lot of mangaka themselves, like famous people, have endorsed them, and these factors could be one of the reasons they're still sticking around. I still don't see them, being the next Kochi Kame or something. But yeah, I do think it's very interesting that these series are all still kicking. What isn't still kicking, though, is the 3 series that have gotten axed since last time. Candy Flurry, which comes as absolutely no surprise. I don't think this one was very interesting. It definitely had a unique concept, but one I don't think really matched with the tone and genre at all. You have Neru, Way of the Martial Artist. They are having a rough time finding a sports series, man. Ever since Haikyuu ended, pretty much every sports series has been dead on arrival. Of course, Blue Box being the exception, but that's much more of a romance than the sports series. But yeah, Neru's out of here. I didn't like it, so yeah, whatever. Then Red Hood, which a lot of people, myself included, were really interested in this manga after the first couple of chapters. I did think it had a really cool art style. I thought the story was fun enough, but I only did read the first few chapters. Apparently after that, it just becomes some huge info dumping shit. Yeah, too bad. I would definitely like to see this mangaka try again, though, because I did really like their art style. I thought it was super cool. And now we have 4 new series, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, out of all the batches I've been covering recently, this one was rough. This one was hard to get through, man. In fact, aside from the last one we'll talk about, I only managed to get through 1 chapter of all of these. First up being PPP. What the fuck, man? You have septuplets here. Now, here's the thing. Negi revolutionized storytelling by featuring quintuplets as his characters, but I feel like that's the limit. It's hard to do a series with more than 5 children born at the exact same time. Anyway, 6 of these 7 kids are genius pianists. Yeah, I'll laugh at pianist. I'm a child. But the other kid is just a mediocre piano player, so his family hates him and shunned him, but his mom, who is dying, wakes up from her coma that tells him she's got to become a piano player or something before she dies, so he goes to piano school. I guess it's unique for Jump, I'll give it that. But honestly, I really didn't care about anything that was happening, like, at all. Like, it was kind of impressive. And, like, I don't want to be mean, because I know how much work Jump artists put into their stuff, but, like, this probably has the most unappealing art style I have ever seen in the magazine. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. This one has been going for quite a while now. Does not seem to be doing very well. I think, yeah, alright. Next up is Room Tanto Daihatsu. This was not something for me. Yes, this is a gag manga involving a girl who gets a bodyguard, and the bodyguard is a little kid and is always stopping assassination attempts. Again, this one has a very unappealing art style to me, and I just did not vibe with it at all. It's clearly something made for the younger readers of Jump, so I don't really know if this one has legs or not, and I honestly don't care. I look forward to never talking about it again. Alright, so this next one, let's talk about the word generic. So this word gets thrown around a lot. And when it comes to shonen manga, you're usually just talking about, just basic tropes of all the popular series. And it's never automatically a bad thing. And there are a lot of series that you can say the start was pretty generic. Stuff like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, Black Clover, Naruto. I mean, all of these series have had pretty basic starts, but have grown into becoming extremely popular series with their own unique aspects. But when I say that Doron Dora the Explorer is generic, I don't mean it in the same way. Because all of these other series, yeah, they started out kind of, just generic. They were still focused, right? Like, they still did their thing. Then they went to introduce more unique elements, and then they just blossomed into, their own whatever the fucks. But this series decides to take about 50 different shonen tropes and throw them all into a single chapter. And the result is so painfully generic and messy that I don't think this series has any hope of pulling what those other series did. My fucking Christ. Years ago, the Mononoke spirits came to the world and they're attacking people, and this kid's family or something was killed by them, so he vows to take revenge. So he trains to become a samurai, go to samurai school, but he doesn't have what it takes to be a samurai. Then they get attacked by monsters, and he meets a cute little sidekick friend who can then turn into his sword, which gives him a super power-up, and then they decide to team up and become samurai and fight all of the demons to get revenge because he hates them. It really feels like this series is trying way too hard to capitalize on what has been popular recently, with it taking so many of its elements from other stories and just not doing anything interesting with them at all. A series that handles this better would usually, gradually introduce all of these elements to the story over time, but here they're just throwing so much at you, hoping to see what sticks. This series just reeks of desperation and corporate intervention. I don't know, man. It pissed me off. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I ever read, and the art was pretty decent. This mangaka has done other stuff before, and it shows. But yeah, man, this was rough. I would honestly consider it a miracle if it's able to turn it around. So yeah, things haven't been going super great. I wasn't too big on any of these series. However, there is one more, and it's honestly quite a banger. Ayashimon. So this series is a bit of a big deal because it is the return of the Hell's Paradise mangaka, which is a series that was really popular. I have not checked it out at all. It is definitely something I hope to get around to next year. But yeah, it has a lot of fans, so people were obviously very much looking forward to this guy's next work. And yeah, after reading the 3 chapters that are out, I can see why. They were pretty goddamn fun. This kind of feels like the complete opposite of Dora, where that series was just throwing so many manga tropes at you that it just lost its identity and became a mess. This one also feels like it was tailor-made to be popular, but in the right way. It really feels like an evolution of a lot of these shonen tropes, like the overpowered main character type thing. And while nothing is particularly groundbreaking about it, it still was a pretty fun time. You have this character who always wanted to be strong, like a manga protagonist, so he did. He trained his whole life to become strong. Now he's super strong. So strong that he doesn't have fun beating up humans anymore. So he gets recruited by this demon yokai girl to go fight the yokai mafia or something. Like I said, it's dumb, it's silly, and it's nothing that special. But it was fun, and that's really what matters. In fact, I see a lot of people comparing it to Chainsaw Man, and I would agree. It does kind of have that similar tone. And we know what Chainsaw Man ended up becoming. So yeah, so far, this one, I like it. I'm cool with it. And I have a good feeling that if any of these series are going to become popular, it'll be this one. And I would not be complaining. So there you have it. Those are the updates. Oh, dear Lord. This will be the last one for the year. And, overall, I have to say, not a terrible year for Shonen Jump. We've had some great hits in Blue Box, Witch Watch, and Sakamoto Days. I guess The Elusive Samurai, some people like it. It does feel like it was a better than average year for the magazine. And here's hoping that next year continues to be better than average. But yeah, there's always going to be stinkers. Series are going to be getting canceled all the time. That's the business. That's how it works. Thank you all so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts on the current Shonen Jump lineup in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Ayashimon is the next big thing right here. I don't know why people think it will get axed. yeah, those are kind of idiots. There's no real indication here that this will get axed. This is like it's a pretty quality title, I gotta say. Black Clover is obviously the superior series in the magazine. If you make the Ayashimon segment longer than the High School Family segment, I'll dox your TikTok. I'd like to see Blue Exorcist into... What are you talking about? This is Shonen Jump. What, you think we're talking about Jump Square? Who reads Jump Square? Get out of here, man. So this clown here likes P6, but not Ayashimon. Do you need to be checked? Buzz is threatening me to finish Red Hood, and I will hit back by threatening him to finish the Dark Souls 3 DLC. Come on, it's so good. It's so good. Here we have Smitty being kind of a dick. You know, he doesn't think Jujutsu Kaisen is good, which I think is really, really silly, considering, you know, his favorite manga is like this. I don't know what this is. I don't want to judge, but I mean, come on, Smitty. Read Slam Dunk Gear. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never even heard of this series. Sometimes